am the broadcaster, Nour Ali. Today we will talk about a topic that we hear wherever we are and at any time, which is COVID-19, which paralyzed all movements and destroyed the lives of many people. Let us know about this epidemic with our broadcaster, Albash.
Rana, which began in late 2019 in China, specifically in the Wuhan region, and this epidemic continues to this day, not only in China but all over the world. This deadly virus has killed many people and infected many of them. Corona is named by this name because it resembles a crown.
Thank you, Asma. Now, let's get to know how the coronavirus spreads and what its symptoms are with our broadcaster Nour Ali.
People can catch COVID-19 from other people who have the virus. The disease is spread mainly from person to person through small droplets that a person with COVID-19 secretes from their nose or mouth when they cough, sneeze, or speak. These droplets are of relatively heavy weight, as they don't move to a far place but rather fall quickly to the ground. People can contract COVID-19 disease if they breathe in these droplets from a person who has the virus infection. Therefore, it's important to maintain a distance of at least 1 meter from others. These droplets may land on objects and surfaces surrounding a person, such as tables, doorknobs, and stair railings. People can then become infected when they touch these objects or surfaces and then touch their eyes, nose, or mouth. Coronavirus infects the lungs, and the main symptoms appear fever and persistent dry cough. The British National Health Service says a dry cough means a crusty cough that isn't accompanied by any phlegm. A persistent cough means a prolonged and frequent cough for more than an hour, or 3 or more coughing episodes within 24 hours. But if you usually suffer from a cough, the situation may be worse than usual. It also leads to shortness of breath, often described as severe chest tightness, difficulty breathing, or a feeling of suffocation. The patient feels a fever if his temperature exceeds 37.8 degrees C, as this leads to feeling of warmth or coldness, sore throat, headache, and diarrhea, as well as loss of sense of smell and taste have also been reported. It takes an average of 5 days for symptoms to start, but some people develop them a little time. The World Health Organization says that the incubation period for the virus is up to 14 days. To take precautions, we have to adhere to preventive instructions against coronavirus. To know what is, stay with our broadcaster, Khalifa.
You should protect yourself and others around you by knowing the facts and taking appropriate precautions. Follow advice provided by your local health authority. So, to prevent the spread of COVID-19, first you should clean your hands often. Use a soap and water or an alcohol-based hand rub. Second, maintain a safe distance from anyone who is coughing or sneezing. Third, wear a mask when physical distancing is not possible. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Fourth, stay home if you feel unwell. If you have a fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical attention. Calling in advance allows your healthcare provider to quickly direct you to the right health facility. This protects you and prevents the spread of viruses and other infections.
Since COVID-19 is still continuing from late 2019 until now, doctors have extracted several vaccines. Let's get to know them with our broadcaster, Rana Hasan.
Britain may have come close to developing a vaccine for the coronavirus, which strikes the world in crises not seen before in history. Governments, especially in developed countries, did not provide any facilities without providing them to research centers in order to find a vaccine for coronavirus. But it has worsened failure to just now. Will the expected vaccine come from Britain? The Oxford vaccine will be tried and tested on nearly 500 people between the ages of 18 and 55. If the vaccine proves its efficacy, it will be further manufactured and presented to the infected. and after 6 months, an evaluation will be made of whether the results are positive. The American company Moderna is developing a vaccine with a 95% efficacy November 16, 2020. The preliminary figures announced by the American company Moderna for the manufacturers of drugs indicated a new vaccine it had developed to prevent infection with COVID-19 diseases, with approximately 95% effective. This announcement comes with bridging a short time since a similar announcement issued by Pfizer, which strengthens the version that a new vaccine may contribute to putting an end to the epidemic that the world needs. And the two companies used an innovative and experimental method in developing the two vaccines.
How does it compare to the Pfizer vaccine? The two vaccines work similarly by intoning a portion of the virus genetic code in order to stimulate an immune response. The preliminary information that we have obtained so far shows that the effectiveness of the two vaccines is very close to 90% for the Pfizer vaccine and about 95% for the Moderna vaccine. But the two vaccines are still being tested and the final numbers and ratios may change over time. But it seems that Moderna vaccine is easier to use in terms of storage and transportation and that it remains stable at 20% below zero for periods that may last for several months. It can be stored in regular refrigerator for about a month. As for the Pfizer vaccine, it must be stored at 75% below zero, but it can be stored in the refrigerator for 5 days. What do we know about Sinovac vaccine? In light of the continuing global race to produce an anti-COVID-19 vaccine, it seems that China has made great strides as Sinovac, which is a pioneer in the fields of vaccine production, is making its way abroad, and shipments of an anti-COVID-19 vaccine have arrived in Beijing in preparation for a mass campaign to vaccinate citizens, with further 1.8 million doses coming by January.
Life with COVID-19 is very difficult and there are great effects on the economic sector. Let's get to know these effects with our broadcaster Muna Al-Saadi.
The economic impacts of the spread of the new coronavirus are numerous and profound. As it's expected that the global economic growth rates will decline as a result of three main channels. First, the supply side is affected due to production disruption due to HIV infections, as well as measures to contain it. Second, the demand side is affected globally, especially in the tourism and entertainment industry. Third, the spread of these effects globally as a result of the transmission of the virus across borders, as well as a result of the decline in global demand rates in the major industrialized countries and China. Arab economics will be negatively affected through several channels, the most important of which are tourism and oil export revenues. There are also some beneficiaries from the spread of the coronavirus, as carbon dioxide emissions have decreased as a result of the decline in global industrial activity, as well as the possibility of many other sectors such as medicines, telecommunications, and e-commerce companies benefiting. Countries and economic institutions will need set of policies that will mitigate the negative economic impacts of the spread of the new coronavirus.
Life with COVID-19 has greatly affected education. Let's get to know this topic more with our broadcaster Ines Khalifa.
Since the spread of the COVID-19 and life has become more complicated and difficult, urban education has become almost impossible, which has led to the current situation of adopting distance education. It's certain that distance education is an unsuccessful and complex method because it has increased fatigue and pressure on the student and teacher. Distance education led to difficulty in learning for the students because before the COVID-19 appeared, students used to live their normal lives and go to school to understand from the teacher. Now, the student attends the class online, and if he is facing difficulty, he must speak with his teacher. And it's known that the teacher has classes and students. And in this case, of course, the teacher will be late to answer a question. Also, in the future, humid generations will rise in society through the neglect of some parents of their children, and also there are parents who don't know writing and reading, and in this case, they can't teach their children.
Finally, I will tell you why we choose topic COVID-19 from among 100 topics. We choose COVID-19 from among 100 topics because we do not have to underestimate this disease and because these things that we live it every hour, every minute and every second. And this disease has completely changed our life system. In any second, we can lose one of our family members because of this disease, and this disease can end our life in a moment. We must always read and educate about this disease. Also, this is the reason why we chose this topic for our version and provide you information. All the other topics in us are controlled by us, except for this issue that can control us before we control these diseases. Can we control this disease and get a solution? In the coming days, stay waiting the news.
Your safety concerns us. Stay at home and thank you for following the newsletter. Goodbye.